and I am raw to the bone. Good morning, good morning. Happy fucking Monday, y'all. Let me see. Let me just get some background music going. Hello? Okay. I hear the music. Good morning. All right, let me just go over to Facebook and check my live. Good morning, McCliva. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, AG. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Black Ice. Good morning, Kiss the Boys. Good morning. Come on in. Come on in. Happy freaking Monday, y'all. Okay, I like that, Kiss the Boys. I like that. Okay, 1 second. 1 second, y'all. Okay. Come on in, come on in. It's Monday. We know what we talk about the first thing on Monday. Yes, I did, McClive. I did. You just noticed that? Did you just notice that? Okay, good, Kiss the Boys. I appreciate that. Yes, I did, McCliva. I secured Coffee with Friends and I secured Raw to the Bone. I am Raw to the Bone. There is only one. My hair, y'all. This is what happens when you first take your twist out. They look like little worms. But I'm okay with that because by the end of the week or by the midweek, it'll be nice and big how I like it. Good morning, Hearts of Fire. You know, happy freaking Monday, y'all. What the hell did y'all do on the weekend? I had a great weekend, y'all. I did. I had an absolutely great weekend. Let me tell y'all what I did. I actually, come on in, y'all. We just bullshitting for the first few minutes. Come on in, come on in. Basically, this weekend, I actually jumped on the bus. Let me think. Did my weekend start? Yes, we jumped on the bus and went to Brooklyn on Saturday. Okay, AG Photography and he's on here. He's on the live as well. Good morning, Johnny. Leon Hill, good morning. Um, you know, there are certain things when I moved to New Jersey, I love living in New Jersey. Don't get me wrong. I've been living in New Jersey. How old is my son? 38. I've been living in New Jersey 22 years about. No, yeah, about that, right? And so, but there are certain things that I still need to get from New York. Who travels? Who lives outside of New York? When I say outside of New York, I'm talking about New Jersey and places like that. Good morning, mother. That find themselves still going into New York to get certain things. Certain things like there ain't shit like going to an Asian market. Like one of them fruit stands. Y'all have one of them fruit stands in your neighborhood? PA. Yes, McCliver. That's a good that's a good one. People that live in PA still travel to New York, right? To get some of that good New York shit. Some of our ingredients that we use when we're cooking and shit. All right. I mean, I miss simple things like Dettol. Who uses Dettol on here? You know, Dettol is an antiseptic, right? I use it to bathe. I use it for sores. I use it for a lot of stuff. Okay. Dettol was introduced to me by my first husband. That's a West Indian thing. It is. All right. And so, I can't find the big bottle of Dettol here in New Jersey. I could find at the dollar store the Dettol hand wash, but I can't find the Dettol in the big bottle that you just use and you can mix it with anything. Well, baby, AG was smart because when I picked him up to go for us to get ready to go to New York, right? We took the bus. I parked my car at his house and we took the bus. But he carried a bag. And I was like, damn, I should have carried a bag. Why he got a bag? But now I know why. Because when you go into New York, you get everything that you can't get. Baby, I went to the Muslim oil store. Hey, Pat, good morning. I went to the Muslim oil store, y'all. And I bought $78 worth of oil. Okay. Now, when you go to the Muslim oil store, you get stuff cheaper than when you buy it from the street. Like when the people are selling it on the street, you get a big bottle of oil for $10. On the street, I'm hearing that it's $20, right? So I went into the Muslim oil store and I got myself some body oils because I love Muslim oils. I stopped using perfumes. I do have some perfume in here. That's because my son gave it to me. But I don't buy perfume for myself anymore, right? I love Muslim oils. So, I got me some Muslim oils. Then I got the burning oils. The burning oils that you burn in your house. Hey, Shirley, Grand Rising, good morning. The burning oils. And then I got the incense cones and a bunch of incense. Okay. I came home with Listen, I know I drive my neighbor crazy. I do, because I burn frankincense and myrrh on the charcoal. I burn incense. I burn the incense coals. I burning oils. I wear the shit. They probably said, damn it, the ancestors are having a party in Roy's house. I love it. You come in my house, you're going to smell the ancestors. They're here. They are. And I went all the way to New York. I've been talking about it for months. Going to New York. I used to have people pick it up for me when they went to New York, but I went myself. All right, let's see who goes into New York. Heart to Fire says, I get my nails and eyebrows done here. Okay, so you go into New York to get, good morning, Mimi R. Your name changed again. You go into New York to get your nails and your eyebrows done. Okay, so that's something you still go into New York for. Cool. They have it in a bar soap. Yeah, I don't like bar soap. I don't really like bar soap. I like bar soap for decoration, occasional use, maybe to travel with, right? But I am really like a liquid type soap person, a body scrub type person. So all of my soaps are in liquid form. I use the Dr. Bronner's peppermint. I use the Neutrogena oil shower gel. I use La Acetane shower oil. I use body scrub that's made by Essentially Raw. Y'all know her. The link is in my bio. Right, Shirley? Keep that energy in your home. Right. I'm telling you, traveled all the way to Brooklyn to make sure the energy in my home is correct. All right. And so that's one of the things I did. McCliver said Tropical Sun is a huge West Indian store located in East Orange, New Jersey. They have everything. Yes, McCliver, you go there. That's my shit. That's not far from where my son lived. My son lived about 10 minutes from that store. And I love that store too. But let me tell you about that store, McCliver. When I first started going to Tropical Sun in East Orange, I want to say this, y'all. I love my people. I just want to say that right now. Right the fuck now. I love y'all. I love my people, y'all. I do. But East Orange by Tropical Sun is get the fuck go. Okay. I mean, the first time I went there, and y'all best to not judge me. I know I'm black and shit. But I'm gonna tell y'all no lie. In certain neighborhoods, they don't care we the same color. They don't care. I'm just being honest. I love y'all, but some shit is real. Okay. And so the first time I went to that store, I went with my ex. We were not together. This is one of those times he flew in, right? And surprised me. And of course, when he comes in, I'll be like, oh, since you here, you got to cook all my favorite foods. Okay, ackee and saltfish, whatever the fuck else, all the provisions. And so we went to Tropical Sun to get all the ingredients. And baby, me and my grandchild, was it AJ? Or it was Amaya. It wasn't AJ. I think it was Amaya. And we went to the store and I was clutching my bag. I felt like a great person. I did. I was like, I feel bad that I'm clutching my bag right now, but yo, that side of East Orange had me shook. Now, that was a lot of years ago, maybe like 10 years, 11 years or so ago. Maybe things have changed by that store, but I was clutching my bag like the Grays, y'all, and I love y'all. I do. But shit, I didn't feel like that when I went to Brooklyn. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Johnny said liquid soap is too strong for my body. I break out every time I use it. Bar soap for me. Okay, Johnny. You know, our bodies are all different. You know, that's interesting though. Liquid soap is too strong for your body. Okay, I guess my shit needs strength. Okay, Heart to Fire, I got that too. I got some sage in here. I got pine. I got all kinds of smudge sticks. Okay, I got Palo Santo. I will burn the fuck out of some negative energy in here. Okay. Hey, Madison, good morning. Heart to Fire said, we all know that I'm from New York City and still working on Long Island. Listen, I'm from New York. I live in New Jersey. I'm going to tell you no lie. I don't crave moving back to New York. I don't. There's nothing in New York that I crave to move back to, right? I love living in New Jersey, but there are certain things that I love going to New York for. New York has a vibe, right? And every now and again, I stick my fucking toe in that vibe and I rock out with it. That's it and that's all. I walked past the Black Ink store in Brooklyn real quick, took a picture, kept it moving. I had to take a picture by Black Ink because you know what? Not the one on 125th Street because I was in Brooklyn, the one in Brooklyn, their other location. Because I watched that ratchet shit on TV. So how could I walk past the shit and not fucking take a picture? Oh, but guys, I have a question for you. Fellas, come on in, y'all. I have a question before we get into the topic. The topic today is, what is something difficult that you want to share with your significant other but don't? Something you want to say to your significant other that's difficult. Something you need from them that's difficult to ask for, right? And so we're going to get into the topic of that conversation. But before we get into that, fellas, I have a question for you. It's a question circulating around social media, and it's a good damn question. So I'm gonna throw this question out. Then I'm gonna go back and read the comments about the soap and the shit that we go to New York City for. Okay, fellas, what are some things that that you would like your woman to do, or what are some things that your woman does that makes you happy to come home to her every night? I need to hear it. Johnny, McCliver, who the fuck else man is on here? Black Ice, are you still on here? What are some of the things that your woman does that makes you want to come home to her every night? I want to hear it. I want to hear it, y'all, because this is some of the things I need to know. Like, these are some of the things that for those people that's relationship are in cookie cutter mode, and and y'all are bored to death, listen to some of these comments. Fellas, this is for the fellas. What are some of the things that your woman does that makes you happy to come home to her at night? I want to know, right? This is going to be good for all of us because I'm interested to hear what the fellas have to say. What are some of the things that your woman does that makes you happy to come home to her every night? I want to hear. Okay, McCliver, see, you still feel that the neighborhood is a little bit sketchy, right? You said you get your items and run, and I know you pull up in your fancy ass cars. Not that they don't have no fancy ass cars in East Orange. Just because I said it's hood and it's ghetto, don't mean they not driving fly shit. Don't let's not get it twisted. Mm. But it's a little scary in that area. Hey, so blessed 2021 fellas. What are some of the things your woman does that makes you happy to come home to her every night? What are some of those things? And what are something and if you don't know, if you thinking that hard, what are some of the things you would like to see, you would like from your woman that would make you happy to come home to her every night? I want to hear it, fellas. Right? The women are always out here bitching and complaining about the shit their men don't do, the shit that their men could do better. I want to hear, fellas. What is it? Hey, Lady Amaris. So blessed said, good morning, Coffee with Friends. I came over to IG. Not sure if you saw me on YouTube. Oh, I'm looking back all around. So yeah. If you commented, your comment will pop up on the podcast from Facebook. Hey Pat, hey Tammy, good morning. Hey Future Miso, good morning. Nobody is answering. Fellas, you see, I'm asking a great question. This question is circulating around social media. You know, if I had my other phone in front of me, I would go to that page right now and read y'all some of the damn comments. Okay. Maybe I could pull it up here. What are some of the things that your woman does or can do that would make you happy to come home to her every day? Not one response. Hey, the general. Good morning. Okay, I'm going to ask the ladies. Welcome back. I'm going to ask the ladies. So, ladies, what is something that your men could do? So, fellas, listen, I gave y'all an opportunity first, okay, by asking y'all the question first because we always say the men get left in the back seat. Well, I put the men in the front seat and I asked the men first, what are some of the things that your woman does for you or you would like your woman to do for you that makes you want to come home to her motherfucking ass every day? And nobody answering. Okay, I got one answer. Hey, Theo. Hey, Theo. And this is a good one. Ladies, I want you to pay attention. If the fellas are answering, don't fucking sit here and act like you don't know what the men want. When I'm asking the men a direct question, and if these men answer, we got to listen to the answers. What are some of the things you expect from your woman or you want from your woman that makes you want to come home to your woman every damn night? What is it? Okay. McCliver said, I always wanted my woman to wear sexy items to welcome me home. Okay, so McCliver, you are the type of gentleman that likes to come home and see your lady walking around the house in sexy lingerie. Ladies, or just something sexy in general. Ladies, how many of you go home, jump in the shower, change your clothes, and put something sexy on? So when your husband comes home or your significant other, whatever the fuck you call them, comes home from work or wherever they're coming from, sees you in these sexy items. Ladies, how many of you walk around the house sexy for your men? I'm going to tell you that, I started asking myself that question about a year or so ago. I was like, damn, I'm tired of looking at me in the same old shit every single day in the house, shorts, t-shirt, some other shit on. So you know what I started doing? I started wearing something sexy just for me. I live by myself, and AG, my mother, and whoever else I do video with, they can attest to. I always got something cute on. I be in here by myself, and if you FaceTime with me and you a friend of mine, you gonna get the cute outfit. I have learned that not only dressing sexy is for my man or my partner, but it's for myself. It's for myself. Ladies, how many of you consciously dress sexy so when your man comes home, when your man comes in the house, he sees you dressed in something sexy? Johnny said, my wife is my best friend. I'm going to sip my coffee to that shit. Because this ain't even a topic. I'm going into the topic. My wife is my best friend. We laugh and talk about everything. Johnny, I felt that. I'm going to tell you, I've never been in a relationship where I could laugh and talk to my significant other about everything. Never. This is how you know that this is how I know. I'm not going to say you. This is how I know. Right? I know that I got to be transparent with myself before getting into another relationship because that shit is deep and I'm not even finished reading what Johnny said. His wife is his best friend. They talk and laugh at everything, about everything. That's my next partner. If I can't fucking talk to you about everything, you ain't gonna be my partner. I don't give a fuck how difficult the conversation is or how easy it is. You're not gonna be my partner if I can't talk to you and laugh with you about everything. This might blend into the topic, but we try to make difficult conversations normal so our lines of communication stay open. Yes, Johnny, it does go into the conversation. I love it. Y'all heard what he said? We try to make difficult conversations normal so that the lines of communication stays open. That takes us into the topic, y'all. But before I go directly into the topic, let me see what the rest of y'all had to say about the women wearing the sexy shit. How many of y'all dress sexy for your men or your fucking self? Or are you just lounging around the house in those same old tired ass clothes that maybe they get tired of looking at? How much effort do you put into how you look in your house for yourself and for your significant other? The general said, for me, my wife having a pleasant attitude is always cool to come home to. Yes, that is a big one, y'all. That ladies, listen. The men are speaking. The men are freaking speaking. One, the men would like to see their women in sexy clothes. Two, the men would like to see pleasant attitudes. Like nobody want to fucking come home and your girl got an attitude as soon as you walk through the fucking door, right? You want to start off with, hi babe, a kiss. How was your day? Right? Nobody want to come in the door to somebody barking. I hear that, the general. Hey, Sam. I hear that. Cheryl Lee said, I put on a trench coat and some heels one day. And when he came in, I told him I was going to the store and asked him if he wanted to see what I was wearing. Nothing underneath. It was on. Surprise your man. What the fuck do you want to see, man, when you come home to your women? What makes you happy to walk through that door every day? What can your women do to make it good for you to come home to them every day? So far, sexy clothes. He didn't say lingerie. Just look the fuck sexy. No mean gripey ass attitude. Okay? All right, Cliver said, I get turned off when I come home to a contentious woman who complains about everything and not care about how my day went. I just fucking said that. Woo! That makes my ass itch. That make me itch when a man do it to me. I walk through the door, and if you complaining you didn't ask me how my fucking day was, my ass be on fire like poison motherfucking ivy. A contentious woman. Nobody wants to come home, walk through the door, and you off the chart complaining about some shit. How about that? Wow. Johnny said, my wife's loyalty. My wife's loyalty keeps me coming home. She rides for me. It's her dedication, commitment to make that makes me want to stay faithful to her. Her love for me makes me want to be better. Listen, I'm going to have to put this number up here in case somebody want to join this podcast this morning. So I just put the link up there in case anybody want to jump on this podcast and express some shit today. All right. Heart to Fire says, when my teenager isn't home, I do everything naked except cook. Right, because you don't want that fucking grease to pop up on your ass. Heart to Fire said, my future partner has to be okay with seeing me in the natural. I know that's right. Listen, I'm so bad now with the hot flashes and shit. Listen, I be taking off my socks and shit. Like I can't have clothes on. I start peeling my clothes off. Like I'm getting ready to have a hot flash now, and I'm getting ready to take my whole jacket off. Okay, I'm telling you. Tammy said, look at me with that smile. The look of appreciation. Make me feel like you are happy to be in my presence. Notice that I had a hard day. Look on my face and move accordingly. This is Tammy responding to ladies. What would you like? What would your experience? What would you like your experience to be when your man comes home? And that was Tammy's response. All right. She's saying, look at me and smile with appreciation. Motherfucker, act like you appreciate me. The fuck? I know that's right. Future said, I don't dress sexy, but I have always tried to make our home a place of peace. His refuge. It's cold. It's a cold world out there. Our home is our world away from the world. That's another good point, right? His home is his refuge. Make it comfy. No man want to come home to a fucked up house. Ladies. Heart to Fire said, wait a minute. McCliver said, I am hearing you loud and clear about the naked, right? Right, Cheryl Lee. Give Johnny Leon Hill those fucking claps, yo. What kind of Listen, I felt that response, Johnny Leon Hill. I felt it. I did. I did. But guess what, y'all? Today's conversation. Let's talk about this shit. Now, if you are on Facebook and you are on YouTube, I am sharing what today's topic is. It says, I'm going to read it for IG, right? This is where we're going today, okay? I tried to go here last Thursday, but we went someplace else. All right, and that's okay cuz that's what Coffee with Friends does at times. But it says, ladies, what is something, and let's be honest, y'all, this is how we have better relationships. This is how we have better lines of communication, right? Some of these topics that I have might sound, might hit home for you. It might be something that you're going through, right? And I get these topics from all over the place. But this, for today's topic, it says, ladies, what is something you want to tell your significant other, but it's hard? Y'all heard that question, ladies? Ladies, the fellas, I'm coming. I'm coming. But ladies, what is something you want to tell your significant other, but it's hard? Something that you think might bruise their ego, might hurt their feelings, might be hard for them to accept. Ladies, fellas, what are some things that are difficult to hear? That's the question for the fellas. What are some things that is difficult to hear, are difficult to hear? Because we're talking about multiple things. Hey, Brads, good morning. Hey, Soulful BBW, good morning. Ladies, what is something you want to tell your significant other, but it's hard? On Facebook and YouTube, you can see the topic, the flyer. I'm sharing it. You should see it up on my screen. And fellas, what are some things that are difficult to hear? Mm, let's go. Tammy said, I keep my daily self sexy. This is based on the last. Tank top, no bra, and cheeky panties or thongs. That works. That works. I do some of the same. Okay. I do some of the same. All right. But I do try to maintain, like when I'm here by myself, I even dress sexy. I want to see myself look cute. All right. So, fellas, so ladies, what is something that's hard for you to tell your significant other? And be honest. And be honest. I threw the host link up there in the chat. The people on YouTube and on Facebook can see it. If you're on IG, eventually you should be migrating and following me on YouTube, y'all, because this is where the podcast and all the extra perks comes from. All right. So make sure you are following me on YouTube so that you can join my YouTube podcast so that you can see all the chats and the guests coming in and out. All right. And so, no, you're not late, protagonist. That's right. Hop on over to YouTube. So I put the link to the guest in the chat. All right. In case anybody wants to jump on here, and in case you want to be reminded what the topic is, I'm showing it again. Ladies, what is something you want to tell your significant other, but it's hard? Fellas, what are some things that's difficult to hear that may bruise your ego? And lastly, what happens if these conversations do not happen? Now, this is directly related to a comment that Johnny Leon Hill just said. They make difficult conversations normal so that they're not difficult, right? Now, telling your significant other something that's hard to hear, that's a difficult conversation. I know one that would be hard for me to tell my significant other. I don't feel safe. I've had this before. I've never openly admitted it in those words, right? I might have come across in various ways by saying I don't trust you or I don't feel comfortable sharing certain things with you. But ultimately, when I assessed what that meant, what that all meant, it meant that I didn't feel safe with my significant other. I didn't feel like they could protect me. And I didn't mean from a physical aspect, right? Because there's so much more to protect your significant other from other than having to fight some motherfucker in the street. I'm not talking from a physical aspect. A lot of motherfuckers could throw fists. I'm talking about protecting me emotionally, mentally, everything, supporting me. I don't feel safe, right? And when not feeling safe impedes on the relationship because it affects your trust, it affects your lines of communication as far as the things that you share with the person, right? I don't feel safe. That's a big thing. How do you tell your significant other you don't feel safe? And how do you fix something like that? Heart to Fire said, I not too long ago had to tell someone to handle his oral hygiene. Oh, that's a difficult one. When I saw him last week, he said that he felt self-conscious. I'm like, what the fuck? How did that conversation unwrap itself? And what was it? Bad breath, rotten teeth? What was the issue? Is that hard to tell your significant other your breath stinks? Is that hard? What is something hard that is difficult for you to share that you need from your significant other that you can't tell them? Okay? Sam said, be in the moment. The home needs to have a peaceful atmosphere. Okay, this goes back to what are some of the things, men, that you need that makes you want to come home to your significant other every night. And Sam said, be in the moment. The home needs to have a peaceful atmosphere. So several people on here have stated they don't want to come home to no nagging wife. They don't want to hear no complaints. All right? Nothing when they come through the door. So fellas, for example, if the wife came home and saw some things in the house that was out of place that irritated her, when you come home and you walk through the door, how long should she wait before she brings these things to your attention before you okay with her nagging you after you come through the door? What is it? Protagonist said, nothing can bruise my ego anymore, but when I was young, she's everything. What is something difficult to tell your significant other? I can't believe all you on here that y'all don't have nothing difficult that you can share with your significant other. Heart to Fire said hygiene. Now, see, if there was a hygiene issue, they couldn't be my significant other. If you have a hygiene issue like body odor or bad breath, I could not take you on as my significant other. That's just me, right? I have a right to have my have my preference. I have that right. Okay? Hearts of Fire said, I explained that this was coming from a loving place and that I really wanted him to listen without getting upset. Did he address the hygiene issue, Hearts of Fire? Because some oral hygiene issue. Listen, that's difficult for me to tell a friend. Forget just telling my man. If I mean, I've had friends with body odor. And I hate that conversation. I hate to tell somebody they got fucking body odor. I do. Like I could smell me when I smell. I can't. And motherfuckers on here, don't act like cause y'all. Everybody gets an odor. If you working out or you doing what the fuck ever, you've smelt your underarms at one point in your life. You smelt your crotch at one point in your life. And men, you smelt your balls at one point in your life. Okay, everybody has had an odor. But baby, can't you smell it first? Like I'ma smell me first before you smell me. I hope. Listen, even when I know I'm getting ready to go out and do some shit. Like if I think I'm on some, you know, listen, I check everything. I make sure, even if I just shout, smell yourselves, people. Protagonist said, I ain't coming home to no nagging and accusations. Mm. But y'all think women only nag? Motherfuck. I had a man who nagged the fuck out of me. I was like, the fuck are you, a girl? I found myself. You know what's so sad? I hate when men say women nag, but I found myself calling a few guys a girl because they were nagging. I was like, why you acting like a girl, yo? Why you nagging? I hate a nagging motherfucker. I do. So I'm with you, protagonist. Protagonist said, I be funky when I'm alone, but once I'm around others, I'm too fresh and too clean. Well, listen, that is the whole idea. Be motherfucking funky by yourself. All right? The fuck? All right, so he did. Oh, I explained. Okay, so he did address the oral issue. So nobody on here got something difficult that they would like to express to their significant other but can't. Or maybe because y'all are on a live platform and you figure if you admit it here, it's like telling him, you know? Like, sex is another topic that is difficult to have. If you're with your significant other and sex has become very cookie cutter, right? How do you have that conversation? Oh, sex is boring. How do we spice up sex? Sex is boring. These are things that we need to talk about. In relation, now I've been in relationships where I've been with someone over 20 years. I don't give a fuck how much y'all in love. I don't give a fuck none of that. You got to change stuff up. Y'all got to have conversations. You got to spice things up. You got to have open dialogue and discuss some things that are really difficult to add some fuel to your relationship. Right? Why do our egos get bruised when our significant others come to us and tell us shit? Like, oh, maybe you're not a good kisser. Is that something difficult to tell your significant other? You're not a good kisser? How about that? Nothing? Well, y'all are good. That means that y'all are having great conversations at home. Hey, Jello, good morning. Good morning, Jello. Good morning. The topic, Jello, is what is something difficult for you to express to your significant other? Right? A difficult conversation, something you might want to tell your significant other, but you can't. Should there be anything, like Johnny Leon Hill said, his wife and him are best friends. They talk and laugh about everything together. They don't have anything that's difficult to talk about because they make difficult conversations the norm. How many people on here make difficult conversations the norm? I know I don't. I know I need to make difficult conversations the norm. Different things that we want to discuss in our relationships, but we know that one person might get their feelings hurt, right? What's a difficult conversation to have that you're afraid to have? And the thing is that I'm so happy, y'all, because not many of y'all are having the difficult conversations. It don't seem like none of y'all are having any difficulties in that area, which means what? That there's good communication happening across our relationships. All right. Heart to Fire said, the kissing part, I show them. All right. So if you get somebody that's a bad kisser, okay. Hearts of Fire said, the kissing part, I show them. I lead in the kissing area. Slow down, control, spit type shit. Oh, Has anybody ever got offended by you trying to show them how to kiss Hearts of Fire? Hey, Trini Gal. Hey, Erica. Good morning. Erica said, well, how did they become your significant other if they can't kiss? Asking for a friend. That's just one example, Erica. Who knows? But let me address that question, Erica. I'm going to address that question because that is the same fucking question that somebody asked me about my first husband. When I said I'm not sexually satisfied, right? Everybody came to me and was like, how did you make him your husband when you got married, when you were dating him, you knew what his sex was like? Yeah, I did. And at 24 and 25, that shit was good. But at 30, I was growing, and so was my sex, and so was the tongue in my mouth. Okay. And so I was advancing in my sex, and he was not. And as I was advancing in my sex, I didn't like his sex no more. So a lot of people came to me and was like, why you don't like his sex? You liked his sex in the beginning. Yeah. I I didn't like sex when I first had it either, when I was a virgin, because it hurt. But I love the shit now. The fuck? We change, we evolve, we grow. How I kissed in high school ain't how I kiss the fuck now. And what I kissed in high school ain't the same shits I kiss now. People grow. So, Erica, to that question, you can advance in a lot of ways. Maybe you liked it at one point, but maybe your shit changed. We got a right to grow, right? Got a right to grow. That question used to make my ass itch. You liked his sex when you married him. My whole ass be itching. That's me scratching my ass. Okay. Um, Hearts of Fire said the one thing that makes me uncomfortable is telling a man that his punishment is too small. Well, right. Well, he wouldn't have too small. He might not have made it to be your significant other in that case, because yeah. But you know, let's broaden the question. Something difficult to express, period. And this is one. Your penis too small. See, I wouldn't even tell them their penis too small. I wouldn't. If I had an experience with you and your peen was too small, I just wouldn't experience it again. If it's not for me, I would just move the fuck on. I don't think I would have that conversation. I don't plan on having a future with you. Okay? Protagonist says, I make difficult conversations the norm, but my level of understanding is just higher than my peers. And that's why I'm single until I enter new tax brackets. I know that shit is right. The fuck? I know that shit is right. Pat said, my niece confessed to me that her significant other was not pleasing her and was cold to her, and they were not communicating well. She asked for my advice. My advice to her was, you take the lead. Treat him the way you want to be treated. When he walks through the door, show him you are happy to see him. Kiss him and ask him how his day was. We teach people how to treat us. Wow. So she confided this in you. Okay. Wow. See, this is something that she needs to have this conversation with her husband, because fuck that. He's cold to me and he's not satisfying me sexually. Well, Pat, I'm glad you jumped in to give her, some advice. Hey, Sister Courage 2016. Jello said money was always an argument starter. Ooh, let's talk about the money. Oh, the money. Fucking money. That'll be Jello. You should have been on YouTube so I could share this thing, because Jello said money was always an argument starter. Talking about exes was always tricky. The guy can dish his history, but when you start yours, their faces fall. Well, Jello. Guys always want to throw in your face how many girls they smash, but as soon as you start throwing in their face, well, nigga, I sucked this many dicks and I smashed this many motherfuckers, they looking at you sideways like, what? Oh, you the only one that can smash like that? What we talking about? Yeah, they don't like that. They don't like that. Rashmi said, I don't have difficulty telling my significant other anything, but he has a hard time taking it in sometimes. That's why I have part two of the question. Fellas, what are some things that's hard for you to hear? What are some shits that you don't want your woman to tell you? What are some things that hurts your ego? Already protagonist say his ego doesn't get hurt. But Rashmi said sometimes some things are difficult for her significant other to hear. Why is that? It bruises the ego, it hurts your feelings. What? Why? Why is it difficult to hear? If you're in a relationship, should anything be difficult to hear? Okay. Johnny said, I think honesty can be hard when you don't know how to package it. Bluntness can be a killer to open communication. Now, that I'm going to share this because that's a key point, Johnny, right? Open communication doesn't always mean being blunt, right? Because to a person receiving the information, depending on how you're delivering it and how blunt you are, if the conversation is already difficult to have and you come across blunt, that could cause the other person to clam up, y'all. That could cause the other person to clam up. All right. So again, that's a good point, Johnny. Johnny said, I think honesty can be hard when you don't know how to package it. Bluntness can be a killer to open communication. So, how do we communicate without being so blunt? Good morning, Gilda. Protagonist said, I hate when girls hate on my money because they ain't achieved their goals. Why would girls hate on your money? That's a new one. Protagonist said, back in the day, I don't want to hear your ex is better than me at anything. You know, that's another thing that used to make my ass itch. You know, I hate being in conversations. That's a pet peeve for me. That's a big pet peeve for me. So I'm just putting the fuck out there. Don't ever in an argument compare me to your ex. I will cut you. I'm not in the kitchen. I will cut you. Because if I am like your ex, then bitch, what you doing here? Go the fuck back there. Why you leave? Why you come here for the same shit? Don't tell me I'm like your ex, because what the fuck you doing here? The fuck? Rashmi said, I think things are difficult because sometimes it can make a man feel less than and bruise their ego. But great point, right? But fellas, if this is your significant other, this is the woman that says she loves you and cares about you, and you love her and care about her. So why is it that something she says to you can hurt your ego? Why isn't the first thought that is for the betterment of our relationship? It's for us to grow. Right? Why does the ego get hurt? This is your significant other sharing this information, right? They usually ask, Heart to Fire said, oh shit, coffee with friends after fucking dark, yo. Heart to Fire said they usually ask what else I could do with my tongue, baby. Baby. What? I know that's right. Okay. Rashmi said, oh, wait, I gotta go up. Protagonist says, my bluntness clammed up a lot of people. Thus, I keep to myself until I get in a circle with people on my level. I don't know if bluntness has to do with level, right? People, y'all have to remember that we're human, right? We are all human, but we're still all different. Right. And the way people deliver stuff is not always received the same way. And when people that walk around that say they are blunt, I'm blunt, right? But I also know that my bluntness, listen, AG can tell you. He is one that checks me all the time. My mouth, I'm blunt. Okay. And it's not right all the time. It's not. And I tell AG several times, I appreciate the fact that you check me. Because some of the shit that come out my mouth and the way I say it is not right. It doesn't matter whether it's true. How I say it isn't right. People have feelings, y'all. And when we come across blunt like that, we can't account for how the next person feels. Right? So sometimes we can't just walk around going, I'm just blunt, and people just need to accept that or whatever. You got to think about the next person's feelings, not just about you. And so I am conscious of that. And so again, AG is a witness to this. I thank him all the time for checking me. Because sometimes I say some shit even to him and he'd be like, wait a minute. And I'd be like, oh, okay, my bad. I didn't mean it like that. But just because he knows I didn't mean it, he still brings it to my attention. He can take it, but what if somebody else I meet can't? Got to be, that bluntness shit. A lot of people walk around with that on their sleeves and they think that, that's just it. And people have to accept that. But you also, the same way you want people to accept your bluntness is the same way you have to understand that other people are sensitive. Rashmi said, don't compare me to your ex in an argument or a regular conversation, period. That's a trigger for me. That is a trigger for me because the one thing I do not do is ever compare a man to my ex. I do not. Because if I do, I needed to still be with my ex. I try not to do that. Right? But I have lived through the compares. And I was like, yo, I'ma fucking stab you. It makes me violent. It does. It pushes every fucking button in my soul. Johnny said, the arguments that my wife and I have comes from a difference of philosophy, how we handle a situation. I might handle money one way and she another, how we raise the kids, etc. It's not wrong, it's just different. And that's what a lot of people need to understand, right? Again, we're all human, but we're different, right? And so how you handle situations may be different than how I handle situations. Right? But this is where the compromise has to come into relationships because there's always going to be one person that wants you to handle a situation the way they handle a situation. But what about the next person? Rashmi says, I'm very blunt, but I know how to be blunt in a way that gets my point across without hurting feelings. I'm not going to sugarcoat shit because that's not my style. I feel I won't be taken seriously. If I have to be too nice to protect the other person's feelings, are you still typing? All right, I'm gonna continue reading what she wrote if she has more. But she feels that she will not be taken seriously if she doesn't come across blunt. But she also feels that when she comes across, it's not to hurt your feelings. All right. Juanita said, I had to learn how to say things to people and not just blurting things out. I've made some people cry or feel away. Then I feel bad about it. Yes, Juanita. Now I know Juanita personally, and baby. Baby, she's blunt. Okay? She will hurt her feelings. She will hurt some feelings. Oh, and Trini is another one. Listen, I got a couple of y'all blunt motherfuckers on here. Erica, Trini, Rashmi, Hart, Juanita. Y'all motherfuckers are dangerous. Y'all are. Trini said, and if you weren't having sex, you would not know about that. If you were not having sex, you would not know about that. You wouldn't know about what? What the fuck I miss? If I wasn't having sex, we wouldn't know about what. Trini said, girl, that was about more than sex, but I digress. You talk about my situation with my first husband, right? I gave you my truth. Now, people can surmise what they want to surmise, right? It wasn't, for me, it started with the sex. Now, that's my truth. Now, people can add what truth they want to add to it, right? But listen, I've been with motherfuckers that I stayed with because they cheated on me. So it wasn't because he was a cheater necessarily. Because if he was slamming the thing down, I might have stayed a little longer. So it ain't that. My truth is my sex changed. And that is true. And the pastor of the Hanson Place 7-Day Adventist church at the time can attest to my truth because I went to the motherfucking pastor about my sex. Okay? And he sent me to the youth pastor. Stories on YouTube. I ain't got no reason to sit on here and lie. I ain't got no reason for other people to guess why I broke up with my first husband. Okay? I tell my stories. Okay. They sent me to the youth pastor, and the youth pastor came to my house, and I said, how you going to help me with my sex? He just looked at me. Okay. That's my truth. Real story. Okay. Um, Oh, that was it. Okay, Rashmi. Juanita said, but the thing about that is if you're blunt with me, I can take it. A lot of people that are blunt can't take you being blunt back to them because we're all different. Right? In one breath, you get into relationships and you tell people to treat me accordingly. And in another stance, you want to treat everybody the same. Can't do that. Can't do that. Protagonist said, I like the blunt ones. I ain't got time for the small talk. Cheryl Lee said delivery is everything when it comes to communication and respect. It is. It definitely is. And everyone doesn't communicate the same. Like I've said some stuff and I've hurt my mom's feelings. And I've had to apologize for that. You understand what I'm saying? But I might have said that same thing to somebody else and their feelings might not have been hurt. We have to communicate to people accordingly sometimes. Okay? McCliver said, if I care or love someone, it's hard to say things that might hurt the person. I could get with that, McCliver. On the other hand, if the woman is contentious, I don't care if she feels when or if I tell her something that might hurt her. Right? If she's contentious, right? Because you're frustrated by that time. Okay? Protagonist said, I used to be boring in bed, but I listened when girls made suggestions, and now I feel totally in control in the bedroom again. Young me could never. Perfect example, right? Okay? But my husband, I tried that, the protagonist, and as you can see, the pastors got involved, right? Because everything that I tried to introduce in our sex, he was like, no, you my wife and we're religious. I was like, fuck that shit. I was like, fuck that shit. We go to Sabbath. We do our Sabbath activities and we come home and do this. The fuck? Johnny said, I curbed my bluntness because people couldn't receive what I said because of the way I said it. So I choose my words carefully. It takes a lot of energy to do it that way. So my bluntness depends on our relationship. Great point. Great point. Right? The same, I get it, Johnny. Now, Johnny said, now I ask, do you want the truth or do you want the real? Mm. Do you want the truth or do you want the real? Okay. I knew what you meant, Hearts of Fire. Pat said, oh, Trini Girl said, we not together if your penis is too small for me, but some people aren't having sex before marriage. That's true. Now that's true, Trini. They're not having sex before marriage, but they dry humping. They doing something. Like, just because you're not having sex before marriage, do you think that they never ever know the size of the person's peen? Is that what we saying? Now he might not know what the inside of her cootie cat feel like, but I'm sure through the tongue kissing and the rubbing and the feeling, you felt what was in those pants. And you know what? You can't go by just looking at a man's eggplant print because some men are growers and not showers. Okay, so you can't just go by that. Hey, Coach Donovan. Good morning, Lulu Bells. That's it. Don't compare me. Right, McCliver. Coach says sometimes it's too much sharing, and although honesty is good, but certain topics are hard to discuss. Right, and that's what we're talking about, Coach. Why are certain topics hard to discuss? What makes those topics hard? If you are in a relationship and this is your significant other, why can't you discuss the sexual and the financial discussions openly? Why are they difficult to discuss? What's difficult about them? If you're in a relationship, it should not be difficult. You have to ask yourself, if you have difficulty having these conversations with your significant other, are you with the right person? Do you feel safe? Because that's what I started out with. I said one of the most difficult things I felt and could not express, but I felt it, was I did not feel safe. I did not feel you could protect me. That's hard. That's hard to tell your man. And I don't mean physically. Protect me mentally. Protect me financially. Can you? I didn't feel safe. And that is one thing I will never enter another relationship not feeling safe. That is the one thing that I felt that I could not express. Um, Rashmi says sometimes it sucks that you have to tone yourself down just to appease the next person, but the next person doesn't have to. Yeah. Protagonist says, I don't date religious girls, and that's the real reason I'm single. My potential wives believe in Jesus, so I ain't even gonna waste either of our time. You said they believe in Jesus, so you're not wasting your time. You don't think you could be in a relationship with somebody that believes in Jesus, but you don't? Lulu Bell said, regarding being blunt, honesty without kindness is brutality. Mm. But kindness without honesty is manipulation. Lulu Bells, your ass should have been on YouTube. I'd have shared this shit on the screen. That's it, and that's all. Regarding being blunt, I'm going to read that again from Lulu Bells. Honesty without kindness is brutality. But kindness without honesty is manipulation. Wow, we got to be careful for that second part, y'all. Kindness without honesty is manipulation. So we got to be in the middle somewhere. That's a good one. You got to, that's a good one. Hey, your boy Mike. Trinity Guy said, if you are comparing, go the fuck on. I'm not for you. Period. Thank you, Trinity Gal. Okay? If you're comparing, then you need to get the fuck on. I'm not for you. Pat said the delivery should not be you did this or I need this. The delivery should be we and us. This way, no one is defensive. That's a great point. Inject we, inject us instead of I, or you. That's a great one. Okay. Yeah, Trini. I know y'all are weak. Listen, Trini, Erica, Juanita, Rashmi, these are the blunt ones. They're on here. Trini God said, what HPC pastors on that tone was going to tell you? I don't know. But I was instructed by the Seventh-day Adventist church that I should be going to my pastor when I'm having marital woes. And that's what the hell I did. Okay, I followed the instructions. All right. And that's what I did. Fire and One, good morning. Trini said, then don't be blunt with me if I can't be blunt with you. Even being blunt, it is in the delivery. Yes. Even when you're being blunt, it's still in the delivery. Depending on who it is. Again, the relationship you have with that person, right? And that's one of the things that AG has said to me, right? AG says, I don't get upset with you, Robin, because I know you don't mean it. I know you're not doing it with malice, but I bring it to your attention because everybody can't handle it. And I appreciate him for that because sometimes I say shit and I don't mean it how it comes across. I don't. But it can be very biting. Trini said it can be difficult, but you still need to have the conversation if you're suffering. I agree, Trini. I agree. And when we don't have the conversation, what happens? Resentment builds up. The relationship falls by the wayside. One person in a relationship is not getting what they need. They're just doing everything to appease you and they're not getting what they need. And eventually the relationship falls apart. When these conversations don't happen, when you have difficult things that you want to say to your significant other, but you hold it because you cannot say it, because you're scared that you're going to hurt their feelings, their behavior is going to continue. You're still going to be frustrated and you're going to be resentful. And the relationship is going to sour. When one person is constantly appeasing the next person and not expressing the things that they need because it's difficult to do that, the relationship eventually sours. Trini said, I get the safe part. Yeah, that was deep for me, Trini. And I had to do some soul searching to figure out that's what it was. That's what it was. And when you don't feel safe, you don't share. I wasn't sharing my deepest emotions, my deepest thoughts, my deepest fears. I was holding everything in, dealing with it myself. And I had a whole significant other. But why didn't I express these things to him? Because I didn't feel safe. That I'm never going to be in that place again. Okay. Coach Donovan said ego and pride from the beginning of time has brought down countries, much less telling a man why he has never made you come in 10 years. Mm, brings down countries. So you know it's going to be a problem when you talk to your significant other. Okay. Tammy said, number one priority for me is mental, emotional, physical, financial safety and protection. I will not compromise on these must haves. I can do bad all by myself. Yes, Lord. And the people in the back pews say amen. Protagonist said, I'm not dating no girl who likes Jesus. It just won't work. All right, Lulu Bells. If you believe in Jesus, then protagonist wasn't for you anyway. It's all right. I hear that. Protagonists, we got to be honest with ourselves, right? Got to be honest with ourselves. What did the pastor tell me? They couldn't tell me shit, Pat. They just looked at me. I told you the senior pastor just looked at me and sent me to the youth pastor. The youth pastor came to my house and he just looked at me. And I was like, I know you can't help me with that, right? Because what you gonna do? They couldn't help me. They couldn't help me. And the fact that he cheated, right? So it's one thing if you giving bad sex at home, but you taking bad sex outside, you trying to piss that was like you really pissed me off. You know, don't take your bad sex outside. And I'm all talking to the fucking pastors of the 7-Day Adventist church, like, what's up with my sex at home? You know, listen, I know they couldn't wait for me to leave that church. They were like, please get her out of here. Okay, this okay. I was too much for the Lord underneath the 7-Day Adventist. Underneath the 7-Day Adventist roof. But that's a true story, y'all. That's a true story. I was trying to save my marriage, but listen, baby, when the pastors ain't had a word for me, I was like, listen, I tried the fuck. All right. But I want to say this, y'all. It is 9:07 and happy motherfucking Monday. Okay. If y'all are in relationships and you have things that you need, things that you want to express, and you're afraid because it might hurt your significant other's feelings, it might offend them, it might bruise their ego. Think about what holding it in will do for the relationship, right? Think about the damage it's going to do by you not expressing the things you need in a relationship. Also, when you get to the point where you realize, yes, I need to express these things no matter how difficult it is. I need to express these things. Two, the delivery on how you express these things. Keep in mind that we are all human, yes, but we are all different. Okay? And so, listen, be careful for how you deliver shit to the next person so that you don't cause them to clam up. And then you looking at them like, oh, you can't handle my bluntness. It's not about that. We're all different. Some people clam up and they react to that bluntness in a negative way, right? Let like Johnny Leon Hill said, and like protagonist said, let's normalize. And like Rashmi says, there's nothing that she's afraid to talk to her significant other about. That's how we should be moving. We should normalize difficult conversations. I'm saying this out loud and I'm saying it to myself because it was not normal for me before. I would hold it because I am such an empath. I hate to hurt people's feelings. I do. And a lot of times when I hurt someone's feelings, it's not on purpose, right? It's not on purpose. So if I have been in situations where I am not getting what I need out of a relationship and I didn't express it, one, because the person probably couldn't give me what I needed. And I was afraid that me expressing it would reveal that, right? Two, okay, I didn't want to fucking argue. Because some people are so quick to tell you that what you say you need is not what you need. You don't know what the fuck I need. I got to tell you what I need. Right? And that was another problem I had with a relationship in the past. I fucking tell you what I need, but they tell me that's not what I need. They know what I need. You don't fucking know what I need. That's why communication is key, y'all. Even the difficult ones. Let's normalize difficult conversations. Things that's hard to express to your significant other, and things that we don't want to hear from our significant others. Right? We have to be open. We have to make communication normal. Difficult communication and the ones that's easy. Okay? Don't let that resentment build up, because resentment will surely build up and that relationship will dissipate. I've been there. I've been resentful. I've been, I so resentful that when I see you, I grind my teeth at you. So resentful. All right. Communication. Nothing should be too difficult for you to share with your significant other. And remember, delivery is everything. I'm not saying lie to them. I'm not saying go around the corner and beat around the bush. Be direct. You could be blunt, but delivery is everything. Okay? Juanita, stop laughing because you know. Listen. I know, Veronica Madison, no worries. Trini said listening is half the battle, even if you don't want to hear it. Period. Love it. Listening is half the battle, even if you don't want to hear it. Have a good day on purpose, folks. You too, Trini. And with that, y'all know this is Coffee with Friends, and I am raw to the bone. But listen, y'all, make sure you are going to the link in my bio and you are following all the links in my bio. All right. My link tree has my Facebook page, my IG page, my YouTube page. When you get to the YouTube page, y'all, this is important. Make sure you subscribe and you hit that bell. Make sure you go and you watch a video, you give me the thumbs up, never the thumbs down, okay? If you do that, then your subscription will stay intact. But if you go on there and just subscribe and leave, they will remove your subscription. And when I go live, you'll be wondering, how come I didn't get the alert you went live? Because YouTube wants authentic followers. So they want to know that the people that are following you are watching your videos and engaging. Okay. So that's one. Also, TikTok is out there. Make sure you're following me on TikTok. I have my retail pages out there, raw2thebone.com, and Essentially Raw is out there if you want some body butters, if you want your skin to be so smooth. Now, y'all know last week my shit was 3 different colors, right? Y'all know last week my shit was 3 different colors and all kind of shit. I was peeling in the chest. I was peeling and shit. But guess what? Coke, that my shea butter. This is what I rub on my skin. And look at my skin. Almost back to normal, all right? So believe in me and believe in my products. Go to the link in my bio, y'all. And with that, this is Coffee with Friends, and y'all know we will be back tomorrow. And with that, I am out. What are we going to give y'all a jam out with before on our way out the damn door? Let's see, what is this? Oh, how about this? Empire State of Mind. How about this? Especially since I was just in New York. Hey, this was Coffee with Friends, and I am raw to the bone. More to come. Tomorrow's another day. Gone for now, but never forever. Peace. Hey.